feel like I want to.
Is it going?
Yep.
What's up, YouTube? And in this video, I'll be teaching you how to make this stitch pattern for a crochet blanket with either size 6 weight yarn or weight 7 yarn. That's all I need. YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to show you my favorite pattern for the Bernat big blanket super jumbo size weight yarn, as well as the size 6 yarn as well. So grab either your 20mm hook or your 25mm hook or whatever size hook you need for the yarn you're using, and let's get into the pattern. So for this pattern, just make your slip knot, and it's a very simple pattern. It'll just be a repeat after our first initial chain here that we do, which is you just chain out however many you need. For this pattern, you don't have to worry about an exact number of chains or counting them. Just chain out to the width that you want. And like with normal projects for blankets that you're making, you want to chain out the width a few more inches than what the actual width you want the blanket to be, just because after you go back over it with your first row, it'll shrink a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna be using the 20mm hook. So yeah, I'm making a queen size blanket, so it'll be 60 inches of width. So I'm just gonna chain out until I get it to the width that I want it. So yeah, just do the same with your blanket, whatever size you're making it. If it's a throw blanket, then do like also 60-inch width, but it'll be a lot less up for a throw blanket, but you still want about that 60-inch width. So yeah, once you get your width of your blanket, your chain, just your initial chain, come back to the video and you'll start your first row, which will just be all single crochets. Once you have the project your desired width, for me it's like a 60-inch blanket is what I desire, so I went a bit over. I went like 75 inches, but since it'll shrink and stuff, that should be fine. So now then, for the first one you're gonna do, since I already went over on the width size, you go into the second chain from the hook and you put in a single crochet. So the second chain from our hook, you put it into the, insert it, pull it up, about the same height as the current one, and pull it through. Now then, grab a stitch marker, just so you don't do any extra stitches. And mark your work. Alrighty. Now you're just gonna go down your entire chain you started with, and you can do this with any size yarn, but this pattern is the best for these jumbo size yarns. But you just do the single crochet. This is row 1 right here, and you're not going to be doing any more of these rows until your last row that you do on the blanket will also be a single crochet for that row. But otherwise, for your first row and your very last row, they'll just be single crochets, because the chain stitch doesn't count as your first row. This does, the single crochet. But otherwise, the real pattern will just be a repeat of two different stitch types. One every single row. You'll do one row, and then the other the next row, and you'll just work the blanket like that until you get it the size you want it. Which, if it's a queen blanket, you'll want it. Not sure how many for the height you need. exactly, but yeah, just work down this row here, your first row of single crochets, and I'll see you when you're done with that. Okay, last stitch of the row here. And there we go. Now then, after your first row, you're gonna chain one and turn your work here. All right. Now then, hold on. Alrighty. Now for our first stitch of the second row, you're going to put in a half double crochet. And that'll be the entire row, just half double crochets, I mean, the entire row. Alrighty. So yeah, just put double crochets in the entire row. So yeah, just do that the entire row, and then I'll send you on to your third row. And then after your third row, you're just gonna repeat the double crochets from this row for the rest of the project, and then you'll repeat the third row after that, which I'll just tell you now what the third row is, when you could do the rest of the project yourself from this point in the video if you wanted. The third row will be half double crochets, and then the fourth row after that you'll want to do double crochets again, and then you'll just repeat like that until you get the project to the height that you want it. So for this row here, you just do double crochet in the next one, half double, and you repeat it like that until the project is the height that you need it to be. So that's all you do. I'll see you at the start of the half double crochet one, and then after that you can get the project to the height that you want it, and we can finish off the blanket together. So I'll see you at the start of the third round. All right. Now after doing that row, you're going to chain one, turn your work, and now for this row, you're just gonna do all half double crochet. So the same as the double crochet to start, and now just go through all three and just do that across the entire row. And then when you're done with this row, just do double crochets again. That's what you'll do for the entire pattern. So each row that you're doing, it'll either be double crochets the entire row or half double crochets until you get your project to the height that you want it to be. So just go along this row here and do half double crochets, and then the next row you'll want to do double crochets and repeat like that until you're done. So once you do that and get your project to the height that you want it, I'll see you back at the end of this video and we can finish the project off together and then add a border. So I'll see you when you get your project to just do your rows. Just repeat like that. You don't have to count however many rows you're doing, but just keep track of which row is for which stitch, either the half double crochet or the double crochet. I'll see you then. Then once you get your project to the height that you want it, obviously, and you work that pattern all the way with double crochets and half double crochets, for the last row, like I said earlier, you just do single crochets all the way along it, and that'll be it. That's how you finish your pattern, that's all. Oops, thought that was something else. Yeah, that's it, just single crochet all the way along it. And once you do that, tie off the project. But I'm curious to see if I'm gonna have enough yarn left to do this, or if I'm gonna have to go back down one row first and make it a little bit shorter and have a little extra yarn. So that's half double crochet rows. If you use the jumbo size 7 yarn like I use, you need so many more rows. This pattern is way better for size 6 yarn. That is what I'd recommend using for this, and any Bernat yarn blankets you make, because with the size 7 I needed like over 10 skeins of it, because it's only 32 yards per skein with the yarn when it's this weight, I guess. But yeah, just single crochet along this, and once you do tie it off, I'll pause this for now, but I don't think I'll make it in time for the unpause. So if that's it, you know how to finish off your project. That is all you gotta do. I'll come back one final time to show you the finished product, the entire blanket in a video form. But yeah, you just tie it off like you normally do at the end of a project. Just do the tie off and then go through the blanket and do all your tie-ins like this. Go through it and tie all of these through where you join the yarn for different colors. I add a single crochet along and I'll see you there.